Hi guys, Identity here from FearWithSkill.com with an awesome episode of Shards of War, the new Moba game, which is super intense and action focused. After this video, you're totally gonna be able to jump right into the game and kill everything which wants to be killed and rock those games, of course. The footage, the video material from this episode is collected from my Twitch stream, where you have the description either in this right now video or underneath in the description of the video. So feel free to click and follow so you know when I'm going live again to spend some time together. However, the video itself is 10 minutes long. It should cover everything besides the loadouts, the different items, which I'm gonna explain in a separate video because they are not entirely direct in this when you fight against other players, and of course guidelines for each of the Sentinels, which I'm gonna start very soon, and I hope that actually very soon. If I say tomorrow and you're watching this video in a year, it's already out. So definitely subscribe to the channel to see when they're out, and if you're interested in Shards of War, enjoy the video.
Because winners are sexy.
So Shards of War is one of the newest games in the mobile genre. It does quite some things a little bit different and is far more action paced than any other game, or at least a big game in this category. One of the biggest differences between this MOBA game, Shards of War, and for example League of Legends is that you control your character with a WYASD controls, which usually you're using in ego shooters, which is quite nice actually. I really like this way of controlling it. If anybody played Bloodline Champions in the past, then you totally know how the feeling of those controls is. The game itself is quite focused on action and combat and continuously having something going on the map. So it's quite intense, I have to say. I played now several hours, and I have to admit that after playing some time, I'm actually getting tired really, because it's, like I said, it's constant pressure. Of course, to be fair, I have to say that the game is still new to me, so I don't have automatic reflexes, therefore I need to think a lot, and this is a big part of getting tired a bit. But it's definitely a recommendation from me, the game itself. It is very interesting, it is fast, it is fun, so it has great potential. Now, the basics, this video is definitely will define and explain the basics in Shards of War, so you guys can jump in, know everything, and focus on killing your enemies instead of finding out, discovering the map and how the game itself works. Like in every other MOBA game, or in most other MOBA games, there are 3 lines on which the main action will take place: top lane, mid lane, bot lane. The aim of the game is of course to kill the enemy, well, let's call it HQ, headquarters in this game, because it's futuristic. So, which is a big ass turret which is shooting a lot and hitting. Of course, there are minions sent out from your HQ on each lane who are pushing and at one point meeting the enemy minions or champions, which are actually called in this game Sentinels. So I will refer to those heroes in future to Sentinels, so we're using the right terms. Interesting aspect, of course, in this game there is a jungle too. However, the jungle has a little bit different functionality to, for example, other MOBA games. When you go into the jungle and kill the creeps in there, which are androids, robots, then those creeps will respawn directly as minions onto your lane. So you kill the creep, or let's say you're not really killing it because it doesn't make sense, but you're like reprogramming it by killing it. Makes sense. And then it takes, his little wings and flies to your lane for some time and helps pushing the lane till it's killed. Killing jungle creeps is super important in this game, because the lane will be pushed. In this game, it's constantly action, constantly fighting, and team fights are pretty often happening, so 5 versus 5. Therefore, if you're like in the mid lane, there's this big fight and there's 4 and back, and you manage to actually kill off the jungle creeps, one of the side lanes will be definitely pushed into the enemy nexus, or sorry, an enemy headquarters. So this is quite a big advantage for you, especially if you're able to kill the big cyborg dragon in the top north of the map. You have a huge advantage in pushing the lane in the mid lane. It will spawn from your H quarter and move through the mid lane towards the enemy HQ, and you kind of have quite an easy way to push into the enemy base. Towers itself, when they go down, well, it goes directly the same as the system. You need to kill the towers closest to your enemy base first before you can proceed to the other towers, before you can start attacking the headquarters. Nothing new there, but the system works, so why should we implement anything new? On the map itself, there are Watchtower, 2, one in the north part of the map, one in the south part of the map. It gives you control over the area in form of being able to see what is going on there. They have the same function like in StarCraft, in case you played this. But like I said, they basically just give you vision. They activate it by running over it, standing in the circle a little bit, and then it's yours. Really interesting aspect in this game is that the developer clearly tried to reduce the downtimes which you have, so porting back into your base is quite fast and happens within only a few seconds, so you can move out of your base pretty fast as well. But the clue is actually that porting back to your base is in most cases completely irrelevant, because between all the towers, and you see this currently, there are healing circles. So if you back off a little bit, you are pretty much able to heal yourself up quite fast and return to battle. This of course means too that according to this, because the game is so fast, you don't really need to retreat too fast. All the skills and cooldowns in this game all the skills in this game have a really low cooldown, which makes again the game quite action focused, which is a good thing. Stress poor, but it's a good thing. So your ultimate is sometimes 30 seconds in case of Reno, for example. That's pretty much nothing. There is no real what this game definitely does differently is that there is no real shop in this game. So when you're in the game, you don't really buy items. The system, the character progression within a match runs regarding how much XP your team gets. Once your team gets a certain amount of XP, you reach level A, let's call it, to make it most easy to understand. You advance to level A. No, actually level B, because level A you have from the beginning. So you advance to level B. Once you advance to level B, you can choose one of 3 items which you can equip to your hero, which give him certain benefits. That's basically the same system, was the same idea like in other games, but you don't buy them really. So once you make the step from level A to level B, you automatically can just choose one item, so you don't have to farm before that. One of 3 items, however, you need to equip them in your loadout, which means you have to craft those items first before you can actually equip them. So this is a little bit different. So the the syncing happens outside of the game. In the game, you just, well, you choose what you have and go for it. So far, what I discovered is that the items which are predefined on those characters, so you don't have a choice, you just get one item, you can't choose between 3, are pretty good, suggested, so there is no really need to invest any money or resources on creating items from the beginning, because those items are perfectly sufficient. How much actually this will allow personalization and strategic play the way you want to have it, this will be shown by time. This is too early this game is in too early stages to actually have an opinion about that. Good, so we talked about items, we talked a little bit about skills. Skills are a little bit different too, because you don't really level them up. I actually now something I didn't figure out yet. I apologize for this. I will make a quotation in this video. So once I have it, those skills, they don't level. So this means your character is getting stronger on its own. It has a passive skill. It has a and 4 active skills, which 2 are bind to your left and right mouse. Then you have E and space as a skill, and in after some levels, after advancing with your team to a further stage, you're getting your ultimate unlocked as well. So what did I miss now so far? Is there anything I need to... Oh yeah, very important. I should have mentioned this a little bit earlier. However, there is no real last hitting in the game. So you just killing those minions, you just, you know, spam your left click into their direction and kill them. You don't need to last hit them. Only advantage to, for example, having a solo lane is because XP will be, of course, granted only if a hero is there. But again, the XP is going to the general team pool. So it definitely is important to split among the lane to get all the XP or as much as possible. Yes. Oh no, actually there are some gimmicks about the map which I totally need to explain too. As you can see, this what you're seeing right now is a wall which you can pass with your hero, however you can't shoot through it. So there are no projectiles going through. This is quite important, I think, from the gameplay, because you can hide behind it and laugh at the enemy who's trying to shoot you. You can block enemy champions by running past you. There is a collision in this game, which is, I think, quite amazing, especially from the idea that you have sometimes tanks, you have marksmen, you have so you really can coordinate your team fights, your battles in a team fight by using this and using the terrain to your advantage, which is quite nice. It's, however, very fast paced, so doing so is quite difficult because of the speed of the game. Another feature on the game are those smokes which you can see on the ground, which actually, when you run into them, will prevent enemies from seeing you. You realize it by this little eye above your head. So you can use the fog of war into your advantage to try to juke them and to make it difficult for them to follow you or shoot at you. So guys, this was it. This was a video about the basics for Shards of War. You can go online now and kick ass and win any game you want to win, because you know all the important stuff which is going on. Please subscribe to the stuff you can see here somewhere, I'm not sure, either here, there, whatever, so you know when I go online on Twitch, and maybe join me for a nice chat and maybe even a game. Gonna be awesome. And of course, to be up to date when new stuff is coming around from Phil with Skill and me, Identity. So, oh yeah, of course, those 2 guides you need to check out too. Reno and Super Saiyajin Ninja Assassins, the 2 Sentinels, the first 2 guides about the 2 Sentinels for Shards of War. So, keep awesome and see you soon.